Welcome to another Otis College of Art and Design digital printmaking tutorial. Today we're going to be going over how different mediums will expose in your screen, as well as a couple tips and tricks to creating layers using traditional materials. Let's start with a Deco marker. It's an acrylic-based paint marker with a chiseled tip. When you first get any paint marker, you're going to want to charge up the tip by pumping it on a scratch piece of paper. Okay. I have some kimono paper in front of me with my light table. If I make a mark, we can see that this is as black can get. Most importantly, we cannot see light passing through. When we want our imagery to expose correctly, it needs to be blacked out as much as possible. These markers are great because they really allow us to jump into the image making process, like with this heart. Another great brand is Molotov. They make a bunch of different sizes and their tips are typically more round, but its acrylic formula makes sure it's just as black and light does not pass through, which is our ultimate goal for proper exposure. Now let's turn off this tablet for a second. Next to our super opaque paint marker, I'm going to draw with this regular Sharpie. Without light passing through them, it's easy to think that they are equally opaque, but if we turn things on, we can clearly see light passing through the regular Sharpie, meaning this will not expose properly. Sometimes when using paint markers, either brand, you can run into inconsistencies or streakiness. This is exactly the same type of marker as the one that we used previously. It's just running out of ink causing the streakiness to happen. But what you can do to push the opacity is flip over your kimono sheet and draw another layer of black on the other side. Now we're looking so much more opaque and have greater chances of success of this exposing properly. You can use traditional paints and inks as well, but you have to remember the goal is to make it dark enough that light does not pass through. Here we have some black wash. This is not mixed with any water. I find if I did mix it with water, it tends to pool up because it doesn't really have anything to absorb into with the kimono paper. Straight out the tube, we can see this is as opaque as our friends, the paint markers from earlier. We can also get some fun dry brush textures in there, but know that they may not expose as clearly as the fully blacked out areas we've painted in. And here we have some India ink, again, not mixed with water, comparatively not as dark as the gouache and has a very different feeling. Some of these lighter moments will expose, but some may not if we can see light passing through them. You can layer the ink to give it a deeper opacity. And I find India ink to be the more experimental of these two mediums. If you're a fan of pencil textures, sadly, pencil is too light to expose properly, but a grease pencil or China marker is a great alternative. Much like our other mediums, it is oil-based, so it can achieve that super black opacity we need for exposure, while also leaving a nice grainy, almost pastel-like texture. We can go lightly and create some more subtle moments, but remember, the lighter it is, the less likely it will expose, so keep that in mind.